In the complex universe of Star Wars, few things are as intimidating as the Dark Trooper. Born from the twisted ambitions of the Empire, these mechanical baddies have left a lasting impact on both Legends and Disney's official continuity. But how do they compare? Today on Star Wars Lore of Legends, we'll explore the origins and evolution of all 4 phases of Dark Troopers from Legends continuity, and see how they stack up against the Dark Troopers who enthusiastically enrolled in Luke Skywalker's School of Hard Knocks. Our journey begins in the heart of the Galactic Empire, where the disturbing seeds of the Dark Trooper project were first sown. The Empire sought to create a new breed of soldier.
Better, stronger, faster.
This disturbing and slightly derivative vision gave rise to the Dark Trooper project, which evolved through several phases in Legends continuity, each more formidable than the last. The earliest iteration of Dark Trooper, known as Phase Zero, was terrifying and, well, just generally depressing. These troops were not fully droids, but rather clone veterans who had more or less received the Darth Vader treatment after being either critically injured or aging out of Imperial service. To keep these soldiers useful, the Empire transformed them into mechanized cyborg warriors, augmenting their broken bodies with cybernetic limbs and advanced armor plating until they were more machine now than man. These Phase Zero troopers were given enhanced strength and speed, and despite how frickin' rad that sounds, the process wasn't exactly easy. Many of these troopers struggled with their loss of humanity, making them depressed, unpredictable, and dangerous, which is so weird considering how generally chill and nonchalant their predecessor was. As a result, these Dark Troopers were used sparingly, and only in missions where brute force was more valuable than subtlety, at least until an upgrade could be made. Realizing the limitations of cyborg soldiers, the Empire moved on to Phase 1, where they flipped the script and went the Separatist route with fully autonomous battle droids. Now, these Phase 1 Dark Troopers were designed as mechanical soldiers from the ground up, armed with beefy vibro swords and blast shields. Their design was heavily influenced by Mandalorian armor, aiming to create a droid that could withstand heavy fire and still dominate in close combat. Despite their menacing appearance, though, Phase 1 Dark Troopers were always considered prototypes, slow and lacking in heavy firepower. They were a step forward from Phase Zero, but still not the ultimate Terminator-style soldiers that the Empire envisioned. Yet. Now, the real leap forward in Dark Trooper tech came with Phase 2. These big boys were faster, stronger, and could be used either as artificially intelligent droids or combat exoskeletons. Like a versatile Swiss Army knife, but instead of a tiny pair of scissors, it came with a blaster cannon. These armaments could easily tear through enemy defenses, and their advanced armor made them nearly impervious to blaster fire too. Phase 2 Dark Troopers became one of the Empire's most feared weapons during the Galactic Civil War. Their ability to operate independently made them highly efficient in battle, but as powerful as they were, the Empire continued to strive for something better. Phase 3 represented the pinnacle of the Dark Trooper project in Legends continuity. These massive droids stood over 3 meters tall and were essentially walking tanks. Their armor was nearly indestructible, and they were equipped with a veritable armory of weapons like heavy blasters, missile launchers, grenades, and energy shields. Kinda like Tony Stark's Iron Legion if it was controlled by space Nazis.
I understood that reference.
Okay, the astronomical cost and complexity of the Phase 3 Dark Troopers meant that only a limited number were ever produced. They were reserved for the most critical missions where overwhelming power could turn the tide of a battle. Despite their limited numbers, these droids became legends, known for their absolute dominance on the battlefield, and could probably have taken on the Hulk. Maybe.
I'm sorry.
But what about Disney's updated canon? How do these new Dark Troopers compare to the older iterations? Introducing the Mandalorian, the canon version of Dark Troopers shares some similarities with their Legends counterparts, but with key differences that make them worse. Unique. Dark Troopers in The Mandalorian Season 2 are fully mechanical, and they're the 3rd generation of Dark Troopers in canon, which bypass the earlier cyborg stages entirely. Designed to be the ultimate soldiers, they combine the durability of heavy armor with advanced weaponry. Unlike the Phase 3 Dark Troopers from Legends, the canon versions are fully autonomous, with no option for a human pilot, finally giving us those big T-800 vibes, but unfortunately without
the Austrian accent.
These Dark Troopers are also incredibly powerful, as seen when they effortlessly bowl over Din Djarin and the gang. Their armor is nearly impervious to blaster fire, and their strength allows them to punch through blast doors with ease. In many ways, the canon Dark Troopers are a streamlined version of Phase 3 from Legends, formidable, but without the complexity and versatility of a hybrid system. We do briefly see a version of the Phase 4 Dark Trooper worn by Moff Gideon in the following season, going back to a strength-enhancing armored exoskeleton and seemingly dropping all the fancy droid components completely. It's forged from a Beskar alloy for extra durability and protection, but it feels like a technological step back. Like, why are we forcing Giancarlo Esposito, a man in his 60s, into glorified Mandalorian armor when we could be making bigger and better murder robots? Who doesn't love murder robots?
Agreement. This was my thought as well, Master. You show excellent logical skills for a meatbag.
So how do they stack up? The Legends and Canon Dark Troopers are both devastatingly effective in terms of raw power. However, the Dark Troopers and Legends tend to be more versatile, offering the ability to be piloted by a human or self-pilot, while the Canon versions force one to choose between either full automation or a fancy suit of armor. The Canon Dark Troopers are perhaps more efficient in their simplicity, but they also lack the sheer size and firepower of their late model counterparts from Legends. Ultimately, the Dark Troopers, whether in Legends or Canon, represent the Empire's darkest ambitions, its willingness to create monstrous weapons to enforce its will across the galaxy. While the details differ, the core concept remains the same: an unstoppable force of mechanical soldiers designed to crush any opposition, which is kind of ironic when you think about it. Thank you for watching this episode of Star Wars Lore of Legends. If you enjoyed this exploration of the Dark Trooper project across both Legends and Canon, give the video a thumbs up. It might not be much for you, but it really helps out the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden histories of a galaxy far, far away. I'll see you next time.